This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Manitoba is in the grips of a cold Arctic air mass that is forecast to last 4 days. Temperatures close to -30 are set to last right through the weekend. And while many of us have the ability to get out of the cold, that is a lot harder for the city's unhoused community. The CBC's Matt Humphrey has more now on how Winnipeg shelters are working around the clock to keep people warm.
At the front desk at the Center of Hope, and folks needing any warm clothing can access that right as soon as they come in the door. So we've got a variety of toques, mitts, neck warmers, and we can hand those out to folks as they're coming up as we address the needs.
The Winnipeg Center for Hope is getting ready for extreme cold. Salvation Army's Kristen Morand says the center has room for dozens of people and can make space for more.
When temperatures dip below zero, we do have spaces that are able to be opened up so that folks can come in any time of the day. If they're looking for a meal, we can accommodate that as well.
Along with around 45 beds, people can go to Salvation for a hot meal. And not far away, Margot Ross at Siloam Mission says they have around 400 beds that fill up every night. There, a legion of volunteers work to keep people warm and bellies full.
For us in the cold, it's inconvenient, it can be depressing, it's middle of January, but it's a life and death situation for someone experiencing homelessness.
Along with food, people can come for a shower and to do laundry and to find something to wear.
So we're here. You can see all of those shoes we talked about from Mark's Work Warehouse, IKEA, bedding as well.
Ross says in all her time at Siloam, she's never seen this level of demand for beds, but she's thankful they're well equipped.
And then you'll see too, as we go to our health center, the foot care nurses, all volunteers, are really busy with things like hypothermia and frostbite.
Both the Salvation Army and Siloam have been working with Main Street Project, which recently had its supply of donated clothing damaged in a fire at the Manwin Hotel.
So our shelter is back up and running as usual, providing the same services we always do. So we're open for daytime, for drop-in services, and then overnight for sleep services.
Main Street's Cindy Titus expects a lot of demand for shelter space and says they can accommodate as needed. But because of the fire, they don't have a place to keep winter clothing donations. And she asks donations be taken to Siloam Mission for the time being. Matt Humphrey, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Well, let's take you south of the border now. A new outrage about the actions of U.S. immigration officers in Minnesota after a preschooler was taken by ICE.
Why detain a 5-year-old? You can't tell me that this child is going to be classified as a violent criminal.
School officials say 5-year-old Liam Ramos was detained along with his father after arriving home from school on Tuesday. They say the child could have been left with his mother, who was inside. Immigration officials deny the child was targeted, but both father and son are now in ICE detention in Texas. The U.S. Vice President is defending the child's detainment, saying that the father is an illegal alien who ran from authorities and ICE apprehended the child for his own safety. The local school board says Liam is just one of 4 students, all minors, who were picked up by ICE in the past 2 weeks. A former Manitoban who now teaches English in St. Paul, Minnesota, says the ICE presence in her city is taking a toll on her students. She says it is leading to missed classes, a switch to remote learning, and others are just staying home. The CBC's Mike Arsenault has the story.
ICE agents are clashing with protesters in the streets of Minneapolis, and tensions are at an all-time high. The raids have Minnesotans on edge, including school-age kids.
Students are scared.
Amy Hewitt-Olatunde is a former Manitoban who teaches English as a second language in St. Paul, Minnesota. She says a lot of her students are Black and Latino, but students across the board are scared of the ICE presence in their community.
You drive to school, you drive down the street, and there's ICE vehicles everywhere. It is a very overwhelming thing.
Hewitt-Olatunde says students are scared to attend school. Some are missing classes, others are switching to remote learning, some are staying home altogether.
Kids have asked me personally in class, what happens if ICE comes up and tries to take us, when we're trying to get on the bus? And my comment was, I will go to jail for you. I will pull you into a bus. I will pull you into school.
These fears come on the heels of reports that minors have been abducted by ICE agents in recent days, claims that Homeland Security have denied. One immigration lawyer in Winnipeg says the tension down south has more Americans asking him about immigrating to Canada.
With the unprecedented violence that's going on in Minnesota right now, I think that has maybe caused a number of Americans and other people in the United States to reflect on what other options they have.
Clark says if you already have refugee status in America, it's hard to become a Canadian refugee.
They can't access the Canadian system until they are in a position that they qualify pursuant to Canadian laws and regulations. So they're in a catch-22.
Hewitt Olatunde says donations and acts of solidarity are what Minnesota needs right now.
Because what's happening now is going to then move to another part of the states, and this has to stop.
Hewitt Olatunde is organizing food drives for people scared to leave their homes and continues to teach kids remotely if they want it. Mike Arsenault, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A northern Manitoba Cree Nation is calling on Manitoba Hydro to alter its operations on the Churchill River. The reason? A declining population of lake sturgeon. And as the CBC's Josh Crabb reports, it comes amid the release of new research findings and recommendations on the river and the sturgeon.
It's a river harvesters in Tatasquiat Cree Nation have relied on for generations as a source of lake sturgeon for sustenance. Elder Ken Kitchakizik says over the past 50 years, people from the northern nation have been catching fewer of them.
I noticed that the sturgeons nowadays they're not as big as used to be.
Tatasquiat hired researchers to study the sturgeon. Following 6 years of monitoring starting in 2018, they found 2,100 lake sturgeon remain on the river, with the population concentrated around the meeting point of the Churchill and Little Churchill rivers.
For 50 years, there's been a grave injustice done to the sturgeon and to our people who relied on the sturgeon.
Researchers say Hydro's Churchill River diversion, which went into operation in 1976, leads to fluctuating river levels depending on the Crown Corporation's needs. The study says historically low flows are followed by unprecedented high water levels, and sturgeon don't like it. Tatasquiat wants that to change.
We're here to stand up for the sturgeon, and we cannot keep allowing their numbers to be decimated, destroyed.
The Missy Falls control structure is part of the Churchill River diversion. It holds water back on southern Indian Lake that would normally flow on the Churchill River, so it can be sent down the Nelson River instead to increase flows for hydro generating stations on that waterway. The research suggests hydro can help the sturgeon recover by changing its operations to allow the river to mimic more natural flows.
The research that we've done shows hydro can still produce electricity and ensure the health of the river.
Manitoba Hydro says it just received the research and couldn't comment on the findings or recommendations. It says the diversion is important to its overall system, and any operating decisions must balance energy security and affordability. Josh Crabb, CBC News, Winnipeg.
RCMP say a 55-year-old is dead after a workplace incident in western Manitoba. Emergency crews were called to a construction site east of Hamiota just after 1 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. Police were told the driver of a skid steer had backed the machine into a deep hole that had been dug. The man died at the scene. This is the second workplace fatality in the province in a week. Last Thursday, a 42-year-old man died after he was pulled into a machine at a food manufacturing facility near Altona. All right, here's some shots of the Windsor Park Nordic Centre today, which was actually closed due to the weather. A long list of schools, buses, and other closures due to the weather. At least it was sunny today, though, but the temperature hovering around -30 through the afternoon in Winnipeg. Let's get a check on that chilly forecast now with CBC weather specialist Mickey Wolf.
Thanks, Riley. Well, it's certainly been a cold few days for Manitoba, and I'm not seeing an end in sight for that soon. Let's take a look at our active watches and warnings we've got across the province right now. As you can see, we're seeing orange for Manitoba, and what that means is it's an orange level advisory from Climate Change Canada. So we've got an orange level cold warning here, folks. We're seeing those wind chill values ranging from -40 to -45 and beyond. So it's feeling very cold out there, and that is going to continue at least into the next few days and possibly the weekend. Taking a look at our skies here over the past few hours, we're seeing a little bit of cloud cover, and taking a look ahead to our morning tomorrow, we've got things looking like they're warming up a bit throughout the day, but again, these are our base temperatures reflected here. Wind chill's going to make that feel a lot colder, so Riley, I will have the details in the full forecast coming up about how long we can expect this to continue.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Mickey. Well, still ahead for us tonight, streets, basements, and businesses all flooded after torrential rains hammered southeastern Manitoba in September. But they won't be getting any help from the province to help pay for that cleanup. More on that coming up. Stay with us. Welcome back. Let's take you to Steinbach now, where hundreds of people in that city won't receive provincial disaster financial assistance after a rainstorm flooded the city in September. Manitoba's emergency management organization has denied the claim, saying it doesn't meet their criteria for disaster help. The CBC's Christopher Garreau has the story.
It's not the news hundreds of Steinbach homeowners were hoping for after being hit a second year in a row by a once-in-a-century flood. The province has denied the city's application for disaster financial assistance on behalf of 200 property owners. Over 100 millimeters of rain fell on Steinbach in 4 hours during the September storm, turning streets into rivers. Some pumps in the city's drainage system were overwhelmed. City Council asked the province for help on behalf of 200 homeowners. They received a denial letter and shared it at Tuesday's meeting.
It's unfortunate because these are real people with real lives who have been significantly impacted. So I would think, even from the compassion side, to show a little more compassion for what Steinbach residents have gone through would have been appropriate.
Penner herself was flooded, despite a sump pump and extra pumps she had running during the downpour. Insurance Bureau of Canada Vice President Aaron Sutherland says infrastructure upgrades are more necessary than ever as insurance premiums keep climbing along with the number of climate-related claims.
We're seeing more extreme weather events happening more often, and they're impacting Canadians, both financially, and they're having a real human toll as well. And we saw that once again in places like Steinbach with the latest flood event.
The city has major sewer upgrades planned to start construction this spring.
We will continue to work at making our infrastructure better. But I think this is about taking care of our people, our residents, and that's why I want to do a good job at taking care of them. And I think that's why I want to hear answers from the province.
CBC News contacted the province. In an email response, a spokesperson says the flooding didn't qualify because most of the reported damage is insurable, and that the event did not cause widespread damage or disruption to essential assets or essential services and was fairly limited in scope. The province adds it's up to individual property owners to find appropriate insurance and to flood-proof their homes and businesses. Steinbach Council passed a resolution asking for clarification from the province on what thresholds need to be met to qualify for aid. For now, anyone not insured will need to use their own rainy day fund, if they're lucky enough to have one. Christopher Garreau, CBC News, Steinbach.
A man convicted of beating a homeless man to death 2 years ago has been sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 10 years. Daniel Jawbone was found dead on Winnipeg's Furby Street in January of 2024. The CBC's Caitlin Gowerluck was in court and spoke to his family.
They called him Uncle Danny, a guy who liked playing chess and listening to classic rock, and who would have done anything for his family.
Someone caring, someone who cared more about people than himself.
Daniel Jawbone was found dead on Winnipeg's Furby Street in January 2024. Court heard Thursday the 62-year-old was beaten to death by a man he'd been drinking with that night. The man dragged his body outside, where it was found on the sidewalk hours later. Darren Hannanen pleaded guilty to second-degree murder partway through his trial earlier this month. Court heard the man he killed had FASD and was vulnerable and homeless. But Jawbone's family says the challenges he faced never stopped him from doing what he wanted to do.
If it was minus 45 like it is right now, he would be on his bike riding to work. That's how much he pushed forward with how limited he was as a human being. He still shined brighter than most.
Or from taking care of his family, like those times when there wasn't much in the cupboards.
My uncle would always come to the rescue. With what little he had, he would get on his bike and he would ride to work and go do a temp job if he had to and get the cash that day.
The judge who heard the case called the circumstances chilling, saying Hannanen killed a smaller and at the time intoxicated individual, and calling it noteworthy that he endeavored to clean up the aftermath. Hannanen was given a life sentence for the killing. He won't be able to apply for parole for 10 years. Jawbone's family says they're happy to be moving forward, and they hope to keep Uncle Danny's legacy of love and kindness alive. Caitlin Gowerluck, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A Winnipeg teacher is being disciplined for mocking a 9-year-old student who was having a meltdown. The online registry was updated this week with details about the Louis Riel School Division's educator. He has been shuffled to a different school after an investigation by the commissioner. It found the conduct likely caused significant emotional harm to one or more children. The Manitoba Teachers Society says the teacher admitted to his behavior and recognized that it was wrong.
We don't condone any behavior in a classroom by teachers or by students that would undermine student safety or undermine student well-being. And so when we hear of situations like that, of course, that we're disappointed as well.
The teacher has signed a consent resolution agreement. He was suspended without pay for 1 week and is required to complete training and subject to regular check-ins and classroom observations. Firefighters from St. Andrews and West St. Paul battled a house fire in frigid conditions this morning near the Perimeter Highway. This was the scene on Rossmore Avenue, just east of McPhillips Street. The West St. Paul Fire Department says 2 people got out of the home before crews arrived around 10 a.m. No injuries were reported. The cause of this fire is under investigation. Certainly a frigid day for anybody who had to be outside for any length of time today. I was talking about temperatures around -30 this afternoon a bit earlier, but Mickey Wolf is back. And Mickey, we actually saw temperatures slightly warmer through the early morning hours.
Thanks, Riley. Well, things have been cold, but how cold are they looking in the province? Let's take a look at some of those daytime highs we saw today. They don't feel very high to me, at least looking at these temperatures across Manitoba. Now, mind you, these are our base temperatures we're seeing in the province. This isn't including the wind chill factor, but how much longer is this going to last? Well, as we look ahead to Friday, we are seeing very clear skies, if that's any solace to the viewers out there feeling the chill. As we get into Sunday, we will see those clearer skies potentially start to get a little bit snowier, but we're still seeing the cold temperatures at least until Sunday, and that's because of the wind. So as you can see here, folks, we've got those wind chills with winds gusting up to around 50 kilometers an hour for Winnipeg, and as well in the north, we're seeing those temperatures, or pardon me, those gusts in excess of 50. And as we get into Friday morning, again, we're still seeing relatively stronger gusting. That should calm down though as we get into Saturday. We're not looking at too much snowfall over the next few days, just potentially a centimeter here and there in the north. But for our friends outside, we should make sure they're bundled up. Think about the pets in this weather as well, folks. If you're taking them for walks, it's very cold on them too. This is a picture of Rocky in some snowy weather, courtesy of Teresa. And if you'd like to see your pet featured on our show, you can email us at talkback@cbc.ca. Again, we've got those temperatures looking deceptively warmer if they are. If you can call -26 warm, those are our temperatures for tomorrow. Looking ahead at our 3-day forecast, we've got that wind chill down to -37 Saturday and Sunday. So hopefully as we get into Monday, Tuesday, we will see a bit of a warm up for the province. But again, at least we've got sunny skies and not snowy skies to contend with in the province. So hopefully we get a little taste of some warmer weather coming up. And Riley, I'm looking forward to February, where things hopefully warm up just a little bit across the province for us, because I don't know how much more of this cold weather I can take.
Certainly got a dress for it. Thank you so much, Mickey. All right, here is a look at Winnipeg's skyline downtown as we head to break on this chilly, chilly Thursday evening. We are back with more right after this. Stay with us. The son of a Manitoban who's been jailed in Venezuela for more than a decade says he should be freed. Dave Sawatsky was arrested on drug charges after making an emergency landing in the South American country. The CBC's Arturo Chang has the details.
Venezuelans standing outside prisons awaiting the release of their loved ones in the aftermath of President Nicolás Maduro's capture by the U.S. The country is freeing political prisoners. Here in Manitoba, one man is watching and hoping for his dad to also be freed.
Hopefully that would allow a pair of fresh eyes to look at the case.
Dave Sawatsky was detained in Venezuela in 2013 on drug trafficking and other charges. He's been imprisoned there ever since. His son David says the whole process is unjust, with officials using it to extort money from family.
At one point they had sent a picture to him to relay to me that my dad was very, very skinny, and if they didn't get money, then they would potentially stop giving him food.
Sawatsky was arrested with a Colombian national. They'd left Belize on a small aircraft. 12 hours later, they ran out of gas and landed on a closed airstrip in western Venezuela, where they were taken by the National Guard. Authorities found traces of cocaine powder on the plane, according to court documents. Passenger seats had been removed, possibly to leave room for cargo. Sawatsky's son says his dad only wanted to sell the plane to a Venezuelan company.
Someone who reads the court case, like it should be fairly well backed up with evidence, but they don't even say that they found cocaine. They say that they found traces. Because it's a fake sentence, in my opinion, I think it'll just continue on. Like there'll just be no end, basically.
The man's sentence was reduced to 17 years after an appeal. He's now in this prison. CBC News spoke with one of the lawyers who handled the case. We're not naming them because they fear government retaliation. The lawyer said that under their court system, Sawatsky should be free by now based on the amount of time he worked while in prison. But judges haven't done the proper paperwork to approve that. No one has said he's a political prisoner, but you bring up the Canadian and everyone gets scared, they said.
The translator my dad was saying from in court and his lawyer basically saying that, somebody at some point in Caracas decided that my dad wasn't going free, and it doesn't matter what a judge or anyone on those lower courts thinks.
Global Affairs Canada says it's aware of the detention of a Canadian citizen and officials are helping, but it cannot say more because of privacy reasons. Arturo Chang, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is back in Canada. He spoke for the first time today since his impassioned speech in Davos, Switzerland. Ahead of a cabinet retreat, he had a message for Canadians. He also had something to say following Donald Trump's swipe at him in Davos. Olivia Stefanovich has more on what the Prime Minister said.
In a fortress originally built to defend from an American invasion, the Prime Minister is gathering with his cabinet to plan for the battles ahead.
Our values must be fought for. That's what we are doing. That's what Canadians want. Canadians are up for it.
And for the first time, Mark Carney is responding to Donald Trump's direct criticism at the World Economic Forum.
Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark.
Where the president called out the Prime Minister by name.
Canada and the United States have built a remarkable partnership in the economy, in security, and in rich cultural exchange. But Canada doesn't live because of the United States. Canada thrives because we are Canadian.
Carney delivering yet another impassioned speech, this one aimed at Canadians, after drawing both praise and pushback for condemning coercion by great powers before an international audience.
That was an important moment for the Prime Minister to show his leadership.
Carney setting the tone for the federal government's direction as it navigates growing geopolitical tensions.
We can only control what we can control as a cabinet and as a country. But I'm not going to pretend that it won't be difficult over the next little while.
And faces increasing pressure to address domestic concerns over affordability and a slow economy.
They do have to start to really point to things that they're doing. And
people need to start feeling that there's at least some progress, right?
This pollster says Canadians largely understand solutions take time. But for this minority government, there may not be much runway left.
If there's a liability, it's that, and they need to perhaps do better in making people feel that things are going to get better, that create a little more optimism about how things are going to go over the next number of months and years.
Carney says his government needs to execute its agenda fairly and fast, but he still faces challenges translating those words into action. With Parliament set to return from its winter break next week and no sign the opposition is willing to be more cooperative. Olivia Stefanovic, CBC News, Quebec City.
Let's take you overseas to Europe now, where alarm over Donald Trump's statements have arguably been replaced with confusion. That owing to Donald Trump's dramatic turnaround Wednesday on Greenland. After threatening to take over the Danish island for months, he suddenly announced a framework for a deal that would satisfy American security needs. But European leaders have doubts about that plan. The CBC's Chris Brown has more.
Whatever arrangement Donald Trump says he struck in Davos to defuse the Greenland crisis, it seems far from a done deal. To begin with, neither Greenland nor Denmark say they were part of it.
I don't know what concrete in it. What I'm saying is that we have a high-level working group that will sort things out.
We're having tremendous meetings with...
The arrangement was apparently hatched between Trump and NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, but both kept details vague.
So what are we talking about? An acquisition of Greenland? Are you going to pay for it? I mean,
we're talking about it. It's really being negotiated now, the details of it, but essentially it's total access. It's there's no end.
Some reports have suggested the U.S. could gain actual sovereignty over military bases in Greenland, but Denmark has ruled that out.
A discussion about our status as a sovereign state, it cannot be discussed, it cannot be changed.
That leaves a possibility that Trump climbed down to get something he could have just asked for, rather than threatening to blow up a 76-year military alliance.
It's all very confusing, and it's very hard to find any kind of functionality in it.
Europe's pushback against Trump's threat of damaging tariffs is being seen as a win.
I see that as a reflection of pragmatism, common sense, and sticking to our values and our principles.
We give so much and we get so little in return.
The president's rant in Davos was full of grievances about Europe, and a summit in Brussels Thursday night was focused on how to insulate the EU from more of his chaos.
This is why it is so important for all of us, also for our partners in Washington, to understand the difference between domination and leadership.
Many Europeans see this outcome as their continent standing up to an American bully. The Greenland crisis has badly shaken confidence in Europe's most powerful ally. Chris Brown, CBC News, London.
Well, after a membership spanning 3/4 of a century, the United States now sits outside of the World Health Organization. Donald Trump announced that his country would leave the United Nations Health Agency 1 year ago. Now, that decision officially went into effect on Thursday. The CBC's Jennifer LaGrassa has this look at the potential impact.
It's a grim forecast for global health, say some experts who are shaking their heads following the United States' departure from the World Health Organization.
This is a very bad thing, not just for WHO, but for the entire world, I would say.
If WHO is weaker, it just won't be able to do its job as well.
That job includes everything from monitoring the spread of infectious diseases, collecting data and rolling out vaccinations for the flu and malaria, to managing illnesses like HIV and tuberculosis. All of that at risk without the U.S., the WHO's top funder.
Our own kids are going to suffer in the future, right? This isn't just about some country far away. It matters to every one of us.
Funding cuts have already axed jobs at the WHO, hollowing out programs. Continued cuts mean some diseases could get worse. For example, tuberculosis, the leading cause of global deaths by a single infectious agent, is expected to kill an estimated 2 million more people by 2030.
There are a lot of exciting developments for TB, even in terms of the treatment regimens. So any cuts on that front would significantly reverse progress in the TB space.
And with the U.S. on the outside, some say it could limit their access to the WHO's health data.
The United States is used to being front in the line for innovative vaccines and treatments. When the next health crisis hits or the next pandemic hits, we could be at the back of the line.
While the U.S. says the divorce is final, it's legally not, according to some experts. Along with a one-year notice, the U.S. needs to pay outstanding dues, which total more than $260 million. A senior spokesperson says that won't be happening.
The president is acting unlawfully, but there's basically nothing we can do about it.
A senior health official says the U.S. will still be a leader in global health, but experts say they're not sure how without a seat at the table. Jennifer LaGrassa, CBC News, Toronto.
To New Zealand now, where rescue efforts continue after a landslide at a campsite in the touristy North Island, Rescuers are using earth-moving equipment to clear away layers of debris as they try to locate those who are still unaccounted for. The landslide left 2 people dead and several believed to be buried under the rubble. The landslide was triggered by heavy rains in the region. The rain caused widespread damage and left thousands without power. We have more local news for you tonight. We'll bring you reaction to Zach Whitecloud's trade to the Calgary Flames from the Vegas Golden Knights. Plus, this story, a tradition now entering its 40th year. After the break, we'll take you to northern Manitoba, where a group of snowmobilers set off this week on a fundraising ride towards southern Manitoba. Stay with us. It is a tradition now entering its 40th year, a days-long snowmobile ride through western Manitoba. The Journey for Sight took off from Flin Flon Wednesday morning, heading on a trip that raises money for charity. The CBC's Eric Westaver has more.
And they're off. The 40th edition of the Lions Journey for Sight started in Flin Flon Wednesday morning, heading out on a rip and raising money for the Lions Foundation. The trip starts in Flin Flon, then divides in two further south. More riders join along the way and end up in Brandon later this week, before branching off again and ending the ride in southwest Manitoba. The night before leaving, every rider takes part in a briefing, going over important info. Chairman David Mullen says the event takes weeks to organize.
It's not a 10-minute job. It's multiple days of fundraising, organizing.
Money from the ride covers hearing and vision screenings, healthcare costs in hotels, corneal transplants, and new glasses, even providing $50,000 to an eye clinic in Swan River. Riders raise money by taking pledges and selling draw tickets along the way and online. Some riders raise thousands in donations before even turning on their sleds.
They do a lot of wonderful stuff with that money. So yeah, if we weren't doing it, they would have a hard time doing a lot of the work that they do. So
the money stays within Manitoba on local initiatives. That's one of the things that brings Josh McQuarrie up from Dauphin to take part.
It just kind of ignites a spark in you when you know that the money's going to be spent within the community, or maybe focused within the community that you live in, and it just makes you a bit more passionate about it.
People in towns along the route put on meals for the riders, offering them places to stay and to store their sleds.
They don't even bat an eye. We reach out to them in advance and say, is there anything you can do toward the ride this year? And they just say, name it, right? Would you be able to help us out with dinner? Okay, we'll put on the whole dinner for you, right?
The riders say the fun they have and hearing from the people they help keep them coming back.
They come to the meeting at the end of the year when we get into Brandon and talk about how we've helped them in their life, and it makes it feel good.
The first Journey for Sight was in 1983 and raised about $200. It's grown in the 4 decades since, and it's raised more than $2.5 million in total for charity. Eric Westaver, CBC News, Flin Flon.
And despite the very chilly conditions, I can tell you that ride has now reached Swan River as of this evening. A new exhibit was unveiled today at the Royal Aviation Museum in Winnipeg. It features drones previously used by the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service. The display aims to highlight the role of drones in modern emergency response and public safety, while also highlighting how aviation technology supports emergency personnel through aerial observation of scenes as well as thermal imaging.
Drones featured in this exhibit have become an increasingly valuable part of our emergency response operations. Equipped with thermal imaging tools, aerial monitoring systems, they provide our responders with real-time insight during active incidents.
The Fire Paramedic Service's drone program was launched in 2018. Drones have been used to identify heat sources, structural risks, and potential danger zones during emergencies, as well as help improve situational awareness and firefighter safety in hazardous environments. All right, let's take a look now at your full Manitoba weather forecast. Mickey Wolf is back. And Mickey, are we looking at any relief in any parts of our province from this cold?
Thanks, Riley. Well, as everybody watching knows, it's been a cold one across Manitoba, and we don't expect to see that ending anytime soon, at least by the end of this weekend. So let's take a look at that active warning we have from Environment Canada. Now, this is an orange level warning, so it's the second tier in the warning system, so it's a high impact and it's a high confidence in the forecast. And we're seeing orange straight across the province. We're also seeing that in Saskatchewan and parts of Ontario as well. So what this means is we're seeing that wind chill factor down to -40 and -45 overnight, potentially colder than that. So it's extremely cold. We've got dangerously cold conditions across the province. So definitely keep that in mind over the next few days. It's a good time to be bundling up if you have to be outside for anything at this time. Now, taking a look at tonight's forecast, we've got these base temperatures temperatures here across the south. They're looking like minus 30 to minus 36, but again, that's not quite factoring in the wind chill. So things will feel a lot colder than we're seeing reflected here on the screen. As well in the north, we're seeing those temperatures very similarly to the south. We've got down to minus 36 for Lynn Lake, but again, wind chill is going to make that feel a lot chillier. And we're not seeing too much of a warm up as we get into the morning tomorrow. We've got at least sunny skies to keep us company during some of this colder weather, and it's much of the same in the south. We've got sunnier skies, but the wind chill factor will make things feel colder than they are. Taking a look ahead at the next few days, kind of an overview snapshot of the province. We're seeing it's pretty much all white for Manitoba, and then as we get into Sunday night, we're starting to see peaks of blue again. We're getting back down to the minus 20s, and I don't know about you, but minus 20 has never felt warmer to me. Here's our wind chill values for tomorrow morning. We're seeing near minus 48 for the Churchill region, so we're getting close to minus 50 for folks in the north. Brochet similarly closer to minus 50. Then in the south, Winnipeg's got a balmy wind chill factor of minus 32, so it's feeling a lot warmer in comparison to the rest of the province. So Riley, I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward to February, where things hopefully start to warm up again for us here.
For sure. Thanks, Mickey. I'm sure the folks, though, who maintain the river trail are probably really enjoying this stretch of cold weather. Well, he has only been a Calgary Flame for a matter of days. Sioux Valley Dakota Nation Zach Whitecloud was traded to the team on Sunday from the Vegas Golden Knights. But as the CBC's Terry Trembath reports, the team's new defenseman is already making an impact on Indigenous youth in Alberta.
It's not just hard shots creating a buzz in the air. Players from the Chief Big Belly Middle School say it's knowing Zach Whitecloud is a Calgary Flame.
It's pretty good, like representing the natives, right?
This 11-year-old says she dreams of playing in the Women's Professional League one day. Whitecloud is proof it can happen.
It really feels like a lot of us have a chance, and a lot of us choose our own path, so he chose the pretty good path, you know?
The Flames defenseman is a member of the Sioux Valley Dakota Nation in Manitoba. Whitecloud says he grew up in Brandon, but spent a lot of time on the nation and played minor hockey there. He brought the Stanley Cup to the community in 2023 when he played for the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
I was so happy when the Knights won the cup, and when I saw him lift the cup, I was so happy, thinking that a native won a cup, and that was like so exciting.
Whitecloud says he takes his position as a role model seriously.
Being one of a handful of Indigenous players in the league, comes with responsibility, and I look at that as an opportunity, not as a kind of a weight I have to carry around.
Whitecloud says when he was young, he looked up to Indigenous NHLers like Jan.22 and former Flame Michael Furland.
I've learned from those guys. I've seen the way they carry themselves, and I like to try and carry myself the same way so that kids, that I was in their shoes at one point, those kids can look up to me and see that, this goal of playing in the NHL is possible.
That's Fontaine's plan. Until then, the 13-year-old has a message for Whitecloud's teammates and Flames fans.
You just know that a native is on your team, and he will do amazing. He'll score lots of goals, make lots of passes, assists. He's going to be amazing here in Calgary.
Whitecloud says along with doing well on the ice, he is looking forward to getting involved with communities in and around the city. Terry Trembath, CBC News, Calgary.
A climber will take on one of the tallest buildings in the world tomorrow without any safety harness or net. It's a stunt that will also be broadcast live around the world.
No ropes, no gear, just me in the building.
Oh boy, rock climber Alex Honnold is set to climb the 500-meter tall Taipei 101 with nothing to break his fall if he slips. Netflix will be streaming this whole stunt live. Honnold is the star of the Oscar-winning documentary Free Solo, in which he performs a similar feat on El Capitan in Yosemite.
Free solo climb ever.
The stars of Canada's hottest show are heading off to the Olympics, but not as the athletes they portray. And there's no spoilers here for you. Hudson Williams and Connor Story, who play Shane Hollander and Ilya Rosanov in heated rivalry, will be among the torchbearers carrying the Olympic flame for the Milano Cortina Games in February. The two play hockey players who are rivals on the ice but struggle to contain their feelings for each other off the ice. The Crave original has been a huge hit here in Canada and around the world, also being picked up by HBO Max since then. Okay, coming up after the break, dreams come true. A PEI boy has the chance to meet his idols. That story in our daily lift, plus your 7-day forecast when we return. Stay with us.
But let's take a look at the 7 days because we are seeing somewhat of a warm up as we get into Monday. I don't think I've ever felt like -16 was a warm temperature until this week because of those brutal wind chills we've been seeing in the province. Hopefully we see an end to that orange level cold warning by the time we get to Sunday. Into Tuesday, we're seeing a little bit of a cool down, and then Thursday, right now at least, it's looking like another cool down for the province, but hopefully we are out of that -40 with wind chill factor. We might see a little bit of snow on Monday, but Riley, it's unusual to look forward to Mondays, but I'm excited for this coming Monday.
For sure, but I'm also looking forward, I should say, to a bit more sunshine as well. Well, it is a day one PEI boy will remember forever. Meyer Gallant was offered a wish by the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That wish was to see a Pittsburgh Penguins game and to meet his favorite players, including Sidney Crosby. Well, that experience ended up being more than just a simple meet and greet, and that is our Daily Lift.
Meyer, how did this trip come to be?
Really good.
Yeah? Tell me how you ended up in Pittsburgh.
Long story. I had a wish and I just really thought about it for a while, and then like a couple months ago, I wanted to meet Sidney Crosby.
Make-A-Wish, they do an incredible job, but what Meyer's experience was completely over the top, and that was because of the Penguins.
I went to the dressing room before the game, fist bumped all of them. Then I got to do the starting lineup. Raquel, Crosby, Rust, Kulak, Letang, Skinner.
And he said, "Mom, you're going to be following me around and taking pictures and crying the whole time." And I did pretty good, other than when we got into the dressing room and then we turn around and see Meyer's locker all set up with his name on it, with the jersey. And then what did I do?
You bawled.
I cried.
It still doesn't feel real. It was just crazy. All of it was so cool.
What a great memory, a great way to end our program on this Thursday. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow.